bugs in the house. Plants we had mother-in-law tongue. You know, mother-in-law tongue. Everyone has mother-in-law tongue.
Well, are we speaking about the plant, or are we speaking about the experience?
Is that another word for snake plant?
I don't think so.
I've got a snake plant. It could be mother-in-law tongue.
It was infested with white little bugs. I don't know why. How did they get in the house?
Leave doors open?
No.
Any windows open?
There's no one there.
Well,
Mystery.
You got a breach.
Really? In the wintertime?
Something. Or they're like laying eggs or whatever it is they do. I'm not going to pretend to be a bug expert over
But
here.
it was huge. It was a pot like 3 feet wide, and the tongues were probably 4 feet high.
Yeah. If it is a snake plant, maybe it's a mother-in-law tongue. I've never heard that before. Certainly have experienced the mother-in-law tongue, but I don't think we're talking about the same thing here. It's supposed to be really good for a air purification standpoint. Cleans the toxins out of the air.
Really?
They say that one snake plant in a room can suck it all out.
Really?
Joshy?
I have about 4 of those in my house that I've had to split a couple times. I'm a big plant guy.
Because they get bigger and then you're putting them in new pots.
So they're detoxing your breath on like Saturday morning, Sunday morning? Is that what
I go and just breathe into the plant to try and help myself out.
Josh is over there motorboating his snake plant just to try to get all of the air purification.
Also great
benefits.
Snake plant.
It is also known as the mother-in-law tongue.
Yeah,
so you
it's
were
the
talking
same
about
thing.
the same thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's
Dead.
great. Well, so your snake plant is dead because of the buggies?
Yes.
Ugh.
Dead. You know what I love the most?
Which is crazy because those are supposed to be very
Hardy.
Both resilient
Yes.
and hardy. Yes. Gabe, are you feeling left out of this plant conversation currently?
No, I love when I just stripe the lawn and my wife just
I suddenly feel like the youngest person in the room is what's happening. Like I'm suddenly feeling just a fountain of youth pouring over me as the old people just sit back and talk about their plants.
Ponce de Leon over here.
No, I love it when I just stripe the lawn and my wife just takes it and just throws it right into the middle of the lawn so all the dirt just dumps on my perfect lawn. I love that. It's really good for the grass. Mad at me because the bugs attacked her plants.
Like Kramer with his golf clubs. You want these? Because I don't want them. I stink.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. So, all right.
So you just got done thinking, oh, man, look at this lawn. That's poof.
You guys want to know something about how deep I've gone with the plant thing?
Yeah.
We had fungus gnats on a couple plants. I purchased online beneficial nematodes to then you hatch them in water, it activates them, and then they are a healthy sort of bug or thing you put into a plant to then kill the issue and the eggs of the said. I've gone deep.
Joshy, you've been holding out on us.
Yeah,
I can see why.
You have not been sharing during
like a dream.
share time.
Well, didn't they bring the Japanese beetle over here to eat a certain bug and it blew up and it didn't work? And that's why we have Japanese beetles everywhere.
Huh.
It wouldn't be
This
the
is
first time.
This is one
Japanese
of those
beetles are
things
not
that,
the
like-
same as the ash borer, right? Japanese beetles are the
that's
little,
different.
late.
In the house,
they look,
they're in the
yes.
fall, everywhere.
Brutal.
Yes.
Yeah, they're ladybug dupes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. My kids are like, look at the ladybugs. I'm like, back away.
They bite too.
Oh yeah.
They bite you.
Ooh, that's good to know because I wonder if a couple of times my girls have woken up with bug bites on their bellies, and we've been like, what the heck? And we take the sheets and we throw them out and we're doing the carpet and everything. But the front of our house always, every year, gets the Japanese beetles. I wonder if that's it. I should ask the doctor.
Yeah, but you got dogs too, right?
But we took the dog in. That was the thing. The first thing we thought was like, oh no, dog got fleas, dog got ticks, dog got something. No, not the dog.
Okay.
Very-
Could be.
I think you're getting it confused with something else. The Japanese beetle was first found in the United States in 1916 in New Jersey. As of 2015, just 9 western states of the United States were considered free of Japanese beetles. So
Specifics don't matter to me, Gabe. It happened to some bug. I don't know which
It was
one it was.
a bug.
But it was.
I don't know
It might be
all
Abbott's.
the bugs.
I don't don't know.
Well, again, that's what makes you dangerous. You know just enough of the information, but not enough to paint the complete picture.
Correct.
And for a while, I caught your illness because I would be telling stories and I'd be giving about 75% of it. And Josh was like, we might want to put a pause on this. You're giving us about 75% of the details, but you've forgotten the rest. I said, well, that's because I hang out with Chewy as often as I do. I do think that if you Googled something along the lines of, what is the bug that was brought over from, where did you say it was brought over from, Chew? You don't know, just somewhere?
Japan.
Well, I mean, he assumed the Japanese beetle from Japan. He could have gotten that information wrong, too.
But that's what I live by. Information is, what was my line?
Knowledge is knowledge.
Even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong.
See, 75%.
You only had 75% of your say. You
I
created
thought it was information for some reason. I don't know. And it's a Wednesday, which is weird.
Wednesday, what are you giving us on Wednesdays?
I'm usually out of my funk,
Okay.
but it's really a Tuesday for me.
Because you weren't here on Monday.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So,
How often are days just days to you? You're always, it's a Thursday, but it's actually a Friday. It's a Friday, but it's a Tuesday. It's never straightforward.
the question is,
this is Holmgren's fault.
so the question is, how often is the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the actual day for you? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Like next week it will be.
Next week's a regular week.
Yes.
Right, but what if we
except we're off Thursday.
What if
Why?
It's a company holiday.
Oh, okay.
we have off Thursday?
That's the.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, leave it.
Okay. No, I'm just saying I don't know if that's a good day to have off.
Do we have to come back on Friday?
Unless you want to take a vacation
Can
day.
we trade it? Can I trade it? Can I come work Thursday and not work Friday?
How are you going to work Thursday if Jen, myself, and Joshy are all not here?
Right behind the glass.
Just a one-man band?
Yes.
God, the chaos that would ensue.
How long do you think Chewy could do a one-man show back here before he gave up on it?
45 seconds.
We'd have a lot of breaks. It'd be a lot of breaks.
No. I don't even think you could call the breaks. I don't even think you could pull them up. How would you roll them?
I have no idea.
He would accidentally hit the right button back there. There's a button that you can hit where the brake will fire.
Yeah.
And he would just start hitting all of them and accidentally, not realizing what he did, fire the brake.
I could get Will to come in.
I hate how true that statement is.
Yeah.
I really don't like how true that is.
The Will and Chew show? Whew.
I'd give him a cut. I'd say, all right. Negotiate.
Cut
He'd
a
come in.
what?
Yeah, what are you giving it?
A cut of what?
Cut your water?
cut a-
Usingers, hot dogs.
Ooh.
Did you ever get those out of the refrigerator, by the way?
Are they still here? I guarantee that.
I have not looked. I'll tell you what.
I'm going to Costco Thursday.
I will go during this break.
Okay.
I will go upstairs.
I've got bad news.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be here.
There was the great people at Usingers brought us some brats, I believe, that were cooked, and I think
No, it was the hot dogs because Chewy loves the hot dogs.
right.
Usingers,
But
yeah.
we had another thing here where on one days they were like cooking them for us, and I think people incorrectly thought those were part of all the things they brought
course
us,
they did.
and they got cooked as well.
We
Swiped.
live in an office of locusts.
Let's
Swiped.
be fair. They were here for about 2 months untouched.
Well, what should we have done? Should we have put Chewy's name on them? Should we
should
have put a
probably
post-it
labeled
that
"Do
said,
not touch"?
Yeah.
That's probably on us.
I think it would have
Me.
been even smarter to put Chewy's name on it. Chewy's hot dogs do not touch. Because the do not touch has some power.
Yeah.
But if you attach Mark Chmura's name to it, I feel like it's a hands-off situation. And Gabe,
fear.
why are you skeptical? Look at you. You're thinking that somebody's messing with the Chewy hot.
I'm telling you this right now. You put do not touch, that means jack squat.
Which is why I'm saying you have to add the addendum of these are Chewy's.
Well, and if there's somebody for, marketing person or salesperson for TMJ who's not listening to us, doesn't see Chewy for however long he's down in Florida, probably think he doesn't even work here anymore and snipe him anyway.
Did
Even
they-
if Chewy didn't work here, I wouldn't touch something of his in the refrigerator.
Yeah, because well, actually, you still would.
Didn't
Because,
they
he's
put a camera
blowhard.
in there?
There is
Are
a
they-
camera in the
Cafe.
cafe now, yes.
How far does it shoot?
I haven't seen what it covers. I would assume it covers all of the
It
cafe.
covers the fridge it was located in.
I've seen Josh be scared by
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Because when all the lights are off in there, it's motion sensing and it has a little light.
Spotlight, yeah. I'm just putting my lunch in the fridge, but I look like a criminal because there's just me, Spotlight, entering the fridge with my little Tupperware.
They
It's
should
crazy.
live stream it. I'd watch it, actually.
Of course you would.
You know?
Live stream.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to do that because they would become aware and have to address the amount some people find themselves standing in that cafe around the office.
Really?
Oh, you mean as opposed to working?
Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
How did we get here?
There's some people I see there quite frequently, and I'm there once a day. If I see you every time I'm here, we can't just be on the same schedule because I go at all different times.
I may need that live stream at some point. Be very helpful for the case. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I don't know how we got where we are, but that's pretty standard
We're
for
loose.
us.
We're
I
stretched out.
started wanting to talk about
Maybe a
Brian
little too
Gutekunst. Yeah, jeez.
We ended up Chachi was throwing some teammates, not by name, under the bus.
They know who they are. You know how they're mall rats? We got cafe rats.
What if they could be working in the
Nope.
cafe?
Nope.
Did we open up a food arm of GKB that I'm unaware of? That they're just making food all the time?
There
in
are clearly people who bring their computer into that area
Yeah,
and are
yeah,
working.
yeah.
Some holding up the counter.
We just don't know what phase of their day they are in. So if you're in the creative phase of your day, sometimes listen, I'm working here. Okay, let me cook. Sometimes you need to, walk around a little bit, change the scenery a little bit, get the creative juices flowing. Maybe that's what the cafe rats are doing. Wow, cafe rats, not something I thought I'd be saying this morning on the radio. I want to talk about Brian Gutekunst, who yesterday talked about Jaire and the health of the cornerbacks and the state of the cap for the Green Bay Packers. All of those things should give you a pretty good idea, whether you like it or not, of the direction/urgency that the GM of the Green Bay Packers feels right now about his roster. We'll talk about that right after this here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, they've been serving businesses, organization, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, we've got some backups from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. Southbound is quiet. We've got southbound 41 slowing down a little bit before Silver Spring all the way down to Burleigh. Northbound slowing down right before Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny, breezy, warm and humid, a high of 87. Tonight, chance for showers or storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest. See your favorite artists, grab your go-to fest food, and make memories you'll talk about all year. Because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, June 19th through 21st, June 26th through 28th, and July 3rd through 5th. The stories you tell this summer, they start at Summerfest. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde, and Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th. Get Dad something he can really enjoy. Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles. Order at kringle.com and send Dad his favorite flavor, like their bourbon pecan. That's my favorite. To complete the gift, you can add a bag of gourmet coffee to your order, and you will be Dad's favorite child. Go to kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH and have it shipped right to Dad. Kringle.com or 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So overrated.
Come on, his head is a pumpkin.
Yeah, he's so right. Chewy's never been more right about anything.
Chewy was right. Yeah. Holy, Chewy was right.
Yeah.
Imagine the helmet on that dome. It'd be the first 8.5 size. What the?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Gutekunst said a lot of things yesterday. I got a sound sheet here in front of me that Joshy puts together with all the money cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, let's hear what he spewed.
All right, you're going in, giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Should be entertaining.
Okay. All right, so Brian Gutekunst yesterday was asked about Jaire Alexander, obviously a day after they cut him. Joshy, you tell me where we start here, because we got a lot of stuff. We could just roll through it, but I want to know what you think is the most revealing thing that Brian said yesterday about Jaire and the salary cap and the cornerback room.
Well, I've got bad news. The 2 best ones aren't working. I got to upload them.
Oh, boy.
I've got some other sound here. This one might be interesting. This is about the return on investment, and I thought Brian Gutekunst had an interesting quote on this.
Yeah, well, again, I think, over the last 4 years, there's been a lot of games missed. And I just think for what that amount of money is, I think that's a lot to pay for a guy who hasn't been able to get out on the field. Again, it's not his fault. It's just something that kind of transpired. So we just we're looking for something different.
See, he was great until the last part. Yes, it is his fault. He wouldn't play unless he was 100%. If he just left that out, that was wonderful. He didn't need to put in the last part.
That it wasn't his fault.
That it was his fault.
Right, I'm saying the part where he said it wasn't his fault.
Yes. He should have said, I expect players to play, not injured, but hurt, which may be 93% or so.
Do you say that out loud?
Murphy would.
Just
all
because
right.
Mark Murphy would say something out loud.
This is the spectrum, and Mark Murphy's over here. Where do we want to exist on the spectrum?
That's why Jason said he's really going to miss Murphy.
Yeah, we're going to miss Murphy because, yes, maybe Murphy would say that, but I don't know if the president of an organization should say that.
Because he was spot on. He's right. Dude got paid a lot of money, and he didn't play, so he's got to go.
I think it's the fairest, safest way to spin the situation. I think, and I'm not saying spin like it's a version of the truth or it's a manipulation of the truth, but the best way to explain why Jaire is no longer on the team is he wasn't available as often as the team needed him. That they were not on the same page from an availability standpoint. We need you X number of games. You gave us Y number of games. The disparity between X and Y was too great. The end. Right?
Yeah.
But I do think that the next thing, Joshy, that you have on this sheet here about the deal that they offered Jaire and whether or not it was fair, I think this is very interesting. Take a listen to this.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the contract stuff, but whether we did or didn't offer anything. It was just something that I think there were conversations. And again, I think that wasn't something they wanted to do. And at the end of the day, we kind of had to really kind of look and see if that was really what we wanted to do as well.
Okay, so it wasn't fair.
Of course.
Yeah, right?
Or was there even a deal?
I mean, there were reports that they put a deal in front of him. The whole timing of the whole thing after Goody spoke yesterday just has me questioning a lot of different things. Like, why did you wait this long? After no deal came together, if what you just said is true, why did you wait until the eve before mandatory minicamp, the last thing of the offseason, to release him? Like, why did you wait that long? After all these deals potentially fell through, because we knew the Bills were interested. Jordan Schultz over at Fox Sports said that, but they didn't want to pay full freight, understandably so. They didn't want to pay the $17 million for Jaire this year. Like, why did this drag out so long? Why was this so dramatic in the way that they handled this? Because, again, we thought at the beginning of the offseason, oh, Jaire's gone. Oh, maybe Jaire's not gone. Maybe Jaire's not gone. Maybe Jaire's not gone. And, like, every checkpoint that we hit, he was still here until earlier this week.
I thought the understanding was that was because they thought that maybe if they played nice and made it seem like the Packers, a well-respected organization, were still interested in having Jaire on their roster, that might drive up external interest, right? Wasn't that the whole play there? The whole idea of, look, we are done with this dude, but we can't tell the world that we're done with this dude, because then why would anyone else trade for Jaire? Why wouldn't they just wait until the contract, or until they cut him, rather, and he's available for us to pick him up? So to me, that was all posturing. For me,
but
it was
bad posturing.
Maybe, but that's what was motivating the behavior. That's what was motivating the, bring it in. We love you so much. We're hoping we can figure out a deal. But I think, Chewy, that was for the rest of the league.
Yeah, probably. I would have went about it a different way. I would have just had a heart to heart with him.
Hello.
And said, all right, here's the deal. Okay, you're on the backside of your career here. You're looking for one more payday. We're going to give you guaranteed $6 million, and then we're going to incentivize it with the amount of games you played. But I'm going to tell you this, Jaire. If you wind up playing 4 games, no one's going to touch you in this league. This would be 3 years where you played a minimal, no one's going to sign you. I'm giving you an opportunity with a fair contract to go out and ball out, and there's a good chance you're not going to be here next year. But if you play good enough, someone will sign you to a deal. If you play 4 games, your career is over. And then left it at that. So you chew on that for a while. Make your decision whether you want it or not. He either would have been PO'd or he would have signed the deal. But there is value. There is value. He is a good player. When he's on the field, he's probably a top 10 corner in this league.
Yep.
Has there been a single person, though, that has disagreed with that?
No.
Again, Jason talked to somebody in the building, right? Rob has talked to people in the building, and the response was, yeah, he's still good when he's out there. That's the big caveat.
Yes. But the problem with this team, Jen, we said it a million times, it lacks superstars. And when he plays, he's a superstar.
Which, by the way, Chew, to be honest with you, that dynamic, that lacking of superstars across the board is probably why this was so important for the Green Bay Packers to have him out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a superstar, right?
Yeah.
But you whittle down your superstar-ness when you're not on the field, right? Your locker room presence can only go so far, right?
Sure.
The thought of Jaire Alexander, the threat of Jaire can only go so far. So that to me is why it put even more pressure and made this even more of a powder keg, because they needed him on the field because they don't have a lot of superstars at the other positions. I want to go to this comment by Abdo on the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always stream Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page and react to the show. If he was released earlier, he would definitely be on the Lions or another team by now. Any belief in that? That had the Packers released him earlier, it allows him to catch on with a team and then go through all of their mini camps.
I don't think you want to be spiteful because that hurts you down the line.
But there was no rush.
Right? But if they did this out of spite, like, oh, bleep you, man, we're going to do this and try to screw you over, like that gets around the league, and that makes it harder to deal with in signing free agents.
See, I think it was...
Or getting guys to stick around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they wanted to stick it to Jaire? No, I don't want to deal with this guy.
Speaking about around the league, there's another point to add to that. Any logic of keeping him around and holding out hope for a trade falls apart when you hear that the Bills around the draft tried to acquire him, to which Jaire said, I'm unwilling to change my contract. So he was given permission to seek trades across the league. Every team he contacted I'm sure asked.
Balked at the number.
Right.
Yep.
What are we going to do with this contract? And then when he told them it is what it is, it won't be changed, Brian Gutekunst and company had to look around and go, well, then we're stuck. Because what are we going to do? Are we holding out hope that he changes his mind? Because if that's it, then that's pretty weak, honestly. I understand doing your due diligence and writing it out and maybe him coming to the realization no one's willing to pay him the number that he's going to be cut at. But, like, push came to shove, he wasn't changing his contract, and that seems to be the matter of fact of it.
Yeah.
No,
He wasn't going to change his contract unless the Packers made him.
Right.
I think it was low, but it wasn't low, really low, because if it was low, embarrassingly low, he would have said, screw you right away. So my feeling is he went out and shopped it, and teams are like, they're going to cut you anyway, so why do we want to take on this deal, and then we'll sign you to our own deal.
Yeah,
and that's
without
where
giving
it
up
got
any
to.
sort of compensation.
Yeah, because if it was like, we guarantee $1 million, he would have been like, screw you, I'm out of here. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they gave him time to go out and shop it and no one took it is like, okay.
On the low spectrum, Chew, if the window is over here and the wall is over here, where is it from the window to the wall?
4.
Sorry. I'm the only one who got the low.
I got it.
thing.
I got it. And the next lyrics that follow are not something we can say on the
I
radio.
didn't say the next lyrics. I was just saying
That's where
since we're
everyone's mind
talking
went.
about
Yeah, I mean,
low,
that's-
low.
You decided to put a ball in the tee and hope that Chewy wouldn't
from the
hit.
window to the wall.
I thought there
Chew.
was a no singing policy. No.
I thought you have broken that policy many times.
So it was low. Is that 3 or 4?
Don't worry about it.
Low.
Oh, let's move on.
Get off my back.
You think he knew the next line of that song?
No, but when he finds out, he's going to be really mad we didn't say it.
What are you talking about? I was really good at lumbar or whatever that was.
Limbo.
Limbo.
Maybe they called it Lumbo.
They took
when you
away
were
limbo.
playing.
There is no more limbo, though.
Adam Schefter's waiting. I'm turning you guys off. We're going to break. Adam Schefter
Schefter's
next.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, slowing down eastbound on 94, basically from about 76th Street through the stadium.
Yeah, I got to be up by
Northbound
42 for
43
TV.
slowing from just before Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Keefe. The southbound side hitting the brakes from
Thank you very
Goodwill
much.
Road down past Silver Spring. Southbound on 41 slowing from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol, with the northbound side slow from just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times, great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny, breezy, warm and humid, a high of 87. Tonight, a chance for showers or storms, mostly cloudy, a low of 60. Weather's brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman. A big focus in America today is your health. And you can't be fully healthy if you are not physically mobile to do the things you want to do. If you're someone that keeps on experiencing that joint pain, then you need to visit QC Kinetics. When I go to QC Kinetics' Greenfield location, I am amazed at everything that they have to give you your life back and finally fix that pain that you're experiencing. Everything they do is top of the line. From the free consultation where you can get an ultrasound of your joints insights and see what is nagging you in real time to the effective and long-lasting treatments of PRP and stem cells that they offer to give you long-lasting pain relief. Be one of the tens of thousands of other patients who now have a pain-free life because of the treatments they received at QC Kinetics. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16 at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the Events tab.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move. And he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
It's always hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. It just is. I wouldn't be surprised if they meet again, and I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay is in that game and Green Bay has a chance to win that game.
Adam Schefter on JGC is sponsored by Island Resort and Casino. Gaming, casual, and fine dining. 2 golf courses, a luxury spa, and live entertainment. Your total experience is at the Island.
Let's get right to it with our pal, Adam Schefter. Good morning, Adam. How you doing today?
Hello there, Jen. How you doing? I'm in the new Hudson Yard Studios for the first time. We're trying to get everything figured out, like where the bathrooms are, where the Starbucks are, how to get on Wi-Fi. It's a whole big onboarding process here.
Oh, those are the
Starbucks is the Starbucks is the most important of those 3, right?
Bathroom, Starbucks, and Wi-Fi. I mean, it's a triple crown.
What else you need in life, right?
Although the Starbucks does contribute to the need of the bathroom and all of that. It's like a chicken, the chicken and the egg thing. Let's get right to the Jaire Alexander situation. He is no longer a member of the Green Bay Packers. What is the market for him now? Do you see him landing with another team anytime soon?
Look, I think that when you're a player, you don't agree to refuse to restructure your deal unless you have an idea of what your market is and whether you think you can get fair value. Now, I don't know that he thinks he's going to get the money that he would have made in Green Bay, but at the very least, I think he feels like he's going to put himself in a spot where he'll be utilized well, where he'll be on a 1-year deal, and where he'll have the opportunity to hit the free agent market again after the 25 season in the 26 free agent class and have the ability then to really cash in. So if I'm Jaire Alexander today, what I'm thinking is I want to go put myself in a great defense with a great organization. I really don't know what team that is, but Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Detroit. I'm throwing teams out there. You're not going today to Tennessee, I don't think. You're not going to one of these AFC South teams. You're going to go to a perennial contender with a strong defense that will have the ability to showcase your talents, and then you hopefully have a great year and parlay that into a big deal in the free agent market in 26.
Well, what do you think that number will be, Adam? The 1-year deal?
I don't think it'll be as high as people think.
Really?
I think it'll be. I think there'll be some incentives in there. A lot of teams don't have a lot of money at this time of the year. You wait to June 11th. A lot of teams have allocated their cap space in dollars, so you reduce the field right there. And I think he's going to be selective in picking in the team he chooses. I do.
What do you think is going to be more important, the competition or the money?
A combination of the both, to be honest with you. I think the money will probably be pretty similar, and I think the deciding factor will be an organization that gives him a chance to shine this upcoming season.
Adam Schefter hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. So it sounds like Brian Gutekunst feels very confident in the cornerbacks who remain. I am less confident, but we shall see, right? We got a lot of time for them to get up to par, get up to the production level that we need them to do. What else is moving around the league? We saw the Terry McLaurin news. We saw the TJ Watt news. We obviously have been paying close attention to what's going on with the Bengals. Do you see Trey Hendrickson getting moved yet? I know this is my pipe dream, and the guys have told me to let it go, but I just can't quit him yet.
Well, I don't see him getting moved. And again, we're talking about teams not having the money for Jaire Alexander, who will be a pittance compared to what it would be for Trey Hendrickson in an exploding pass rush market. We've seen huge deals given out this offseason for Max Crosby, Danielle Hunter, Myles Garrett. And you're going to see at some point Trey Hendrickson get another deal. Could there be a team that trades from at some point? Sure, that always exists. I just think it's a hard deal to pull off where you have to compensate the Bengals and you have to compensate the player. Not a simple thing to do. Not that it can't be done, it can. Khalil Mack, I believe, was traded in September after he sent a strong message where he didn't show up all summer. Now, if Trey Hendrickson, who has said that I'm not going to be playing on this current deal, if he refuses to show up all summer and goes hardline on them, could he force a trade? Absolutely. That could happen. But I think that there have to be steps that have to be taken before we could look at a trade being viable.
Adam, this might be, well, it is premature, but how frustrated are owners with these players holding out with 2 years, like Elton Jenkins, 2 years left on his contract? You know, Jen just mentioned Watt and Hendrickson and McLaurin. Are they going to try to address this in the next CBA where these players can't do that? I would think they'd be frustrated by it.
Chewy, they did address it in the CBA.
Yeah, but they
did do
screwed it
that.
up, though, didn't they?
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. T.J. Watt, Trey Hendrickson, Terry McLaurin, veterans who don't show up to mandatory minicamp are fined $17,462 the first day they miss, $34,925 the second day they miss, $52,381 the third day they miss. So to miss the 3 days of work for any of these veterans is $104,768. So basically $105,000. Now here's the issue. The money has gotten so great that if you're Trey Hendrickson, you're Terry McLaurin, you're TJ Watt, and you're talking about making upwards of $30 million a year, what is $105,000 in fines? That's why James Cook was there yesterday, because he hasn't made any money yet. He can't afford to just throw away $105,000. And that's why the CBA is set up the way it is, Chewy, because a guy on a...
There's always a loophole where I can go in, I'm not happy with my contract, and go, oh, my hamstring's tight. You play the injury
Of course,
card,
my
which they
back.
do, and
My
that gets
back
them-
is...
Yeah, that gets them out of it.
Right. And look, we've seen that through time. And if I were a player, maybe that's the tactic I would use. But my point is that the money has become so great that the fine schedule hasn't kept up with the rise in wages. Right? The CBA was done 5 years ago, and players, the top pass rusher 5 years ago, if we looked at it, was probably making $10 million. Okay? So $105,000 at $10 million, it doesn't sound like very much, but I'm just telling you, $105,000 is still $105,000. Now, $105,000 on $30 million, you're laughing. You're laughing. I'm going to go send my message. I'd rather send my message and absorb the 105. I can do that.
Yeah.
Shefty, we're tight on time. It's the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Who you got?
Goddamn, I'm really struggling here. And Chewy, and Gabe, I gotta tell you something. I so badly want to ask you your opinion, but I don't want to ask you. So I'm not even like.
I lead you astray one time. That was months ago.
Okay, who do you believe? Who do you believe in? Right, I can tell you right now.
Scheffler.
We used Scheffler last week or 2 weeks ago at the Memorial, and that was a winner. So we are set up now in the second half. The four guys we're debating right now: Xander, Straka, Rahm, and Neiman. Those are our four choices. We're going to pick one of those.
I would lean towards Rahm because I was thinking about taking Rahm myself. And I mean, Xander's got a really good U.S. Open record as well.
Yeah.
If I got to dig into the numbers to see if he's been trending closer to the player he was last year. But I think Xander's kind of sneaky and flying under a lot of people's radar as well.
Dean Lowry.
Shane Lowry.
Oh, yeah. He was the football
I like him too.
Packers.
By the way, Shane Lowry was the 54-hole leader at Oakmont in 2016.
I still got it.
Jen knew that. Jen knew that, right, Jen?
You got half of it. You got the last name, and you botched the first name.
I know, but we discussed this in the first segment.
Yeah.
So.
He's got 75% of the info.
That was 50%, guys. Stay with me.
Adam's got to go. Bye,
He does
Adam.
have to go. Adam, thanks for hanging with us. Have a great
Guys,
week.
have a
We'll
great
talk to you
day.
again soon.
That's close.
I can't believe he dropped a GD.
That might be his first.
The guy's on TV more than anyone on earth.
I mean, he's really frustrated about the U.S. Open. I get it. Our conversations with Adam Schefter each and every week brought to you by the Highland Resort and Casino, which is a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you'd like to do in one awesome location. I can't wait to get up there in August to play some golf, and you can book yours. Visit islandresortandcasino.com. Book your total experience today.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Elevate your game at the Island Resort and Casino. Book a customized stay and play package today to golf Sweetgrass and Sage Run. There's nothing like playing around at the island, unless you're watching the pros do it. Join us June 20th through the 22nd for the Island Resort Championship at Sweetgrass, where the rising stars of the LPGA tee it up on the Epson Tour. It's a weekend of thrilling competition and unforgettable women's golf. Plan your golf getaway today at islandresortgolf.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Born in the heart of the earth, natural diamonds rise up like the notes of a song from the throat of Mother Nature.
Rick, that was positively poetic.
Mother Nature sings diamonds.
Sarah, wow, you can sing.
Born in the heart of a plasma chamber, created diamonds fall softly like snowflakes from the heart of a star.
A star that shines like true love.
Natural diamonds are earthborn.
Created diamonds are starborn.
Kessler's has the largest selection of natural diamonds in the state of Wisconsin. All the different sizes, all the fancy shapes.
Give her a fancy diamond.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
Bigger, brighter natural diamonds.
And financing that makes anything possible.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America.
Which means we can do anything we want to do.
For you.
Mother Nature sings diamonds.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He sounds like the Beatles.
What?
Anyone?
This is a new one on me.
Listen to
I
his
don't
interview,
know.
the way he talks. He sounds like Paul McCartney. Ringo farted and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Your Brewers got a big win yesterday over the Atlanta Braves, 4-1. They are 36-32, still chasing in the Central. Still a little early to be scoreboard watching. You just want to keep the Cubs in your eyesight, right? Make sure that you can maintain that distance behind them. But that is not the big news coming out of AmFam Field. No, the big news, of course, is that they are bringing up, and there's a lot of excitement for this kid, because of some of the situations that the Brewers have found themselves in. But the Brewers did announce that they are promoting Jacob Misiorowski, their pitcher, and Chewy, he's a 6'7". Is flamethrower fair to say, Gabe? I mean, He's got the whole arsenal of pitches. It's not just like he relies on his fastball. But when I see that he averages 98 miles per hour with his fastball, I'm thinking, whew, that'll be fun to watch. And he's supposed to make his major league debut on Thursday against the St. Louis Cardinals, who I believe the Brewers are also chasing in the division right now. What is your excitement level, Gabe, for this kid making his debut for the Brew Crew?
Oh, it should be high. Like, this is somebody who has steadily climbed the ranks and has been the Brewers' highest ranked pitcher for the last couple of years. And now he's ready to come up. They thought maybe they'd call him up as a reliever last year and kind of, tamper down his innings as he continues his development. Obviously, that didn't happen. But now they're calling him up. They think he's ready. 2.13 ERA, 80 strikeouts, and 63rd and a third innings in AAA. Yeah, this dude's ready. Threw a 103-mile-an-hour fastball on the final pitch of an outing back in May. Like, this guy, this kid's got it. And he could be somebody along those lines of, over the last handful of years, guys that the Brewers been able to develop in their minor league system and then have a big impact on the roster.
Love it. Another Pollock coming to the key.
Oh, my goodness. So you hear the ski at the end of his name and you get all giddy.
Well, he's Pollock. I got to show him where all the good restaurants are in South Side.
Teach him borscht.
I was about to say.
I cook him some borscht.
I think you should show up tomorrow in the clubhouse with some borscht for him.
Oh.
Well, you're about the only human who can look him eye to eye.
What is he, 6'8", 6'7"?
6'7".
I think it's also important for us to, this isn't just one of the top Brewers prospects, because they've snuck that by us before. Like, oh, this is one of the top guys. No, this is top in all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is one of the best kids in all of developmental leagues happening right now.
21st ranked prospect according to Baseball America.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it's funny because he's dropped to third in the Brewers rankings, but that's really because Jesus Mate is just one of the top 5 prospects in baseball.
All right, well, before Joshy weed whacks us out of this segment, I got to ask you guys, how realistic is it to put all of your chips in the Misiorowski basket? Obviously, they've got guys who have done a good job of carrying this rotation this year, but, is this in part because of the Brandon Woodruff situation? Do you think they would have pulled him up otherwise, and then you would have been having Woodruff up coming back from his injury and his rehab starts, and you'd have Misiorowski up? And as a rookie, there still is a learning curve, right? We don't expect him to just go out there and have immediate success, do we?
No, but, he could. We've seen, how many rookies have done that, especially pitchers, where you haven't seen a guy and they just come out and they shove in that first outing. I think the expectations are fairly high, and they can be high. He's going to be up here, I think, for the rest of the season. Because now you've passed that point where you get that, you get the Super 2, and you can hold on to him for longer, basically, as you manipulated his service time. So he's not going to be up here, and you get the extra year on the back end with the way arbitration works in baseball. I think this is completely independent of anything that would happen with Woodruff. This guy's 23 years old, and he's ready. He's ready to be called up. He's ready to be a major league starter. And unless he struggles mightily, I think he's going to be around for the rest of the year.
This is what we expect from Golden. Golden's not going to start week 1, or I'd be shocked. Going to sprinkle, and they're going to go, okay, now it's time to put him in the starting lineup and let him go. He might go back down. Who knows? But now it's Because there is a transition getting used to the big ballparks, and his juice will be flying, and he might be a little outside the strike zone just because of the nerves and stuff. So quicker you get him there, the quicker he gets used to it. He gets comfortable playing there.
Which has been, so the wildness has been an issue with him. A lot of walks earlier in his career. He's cut down on that this year. Like, he's cut down on that number big time.
Yeah, it's time.
So it's just a situation where, he's 23 years old. Now is as good of a time as any. I don't know what the innings restriction is going to be on him because last year was a career high, 97 innings. So I don't know how deep they're going to allow him to go into the season, but it was just time. He's ready to go. He has dominated AAA. There's nothing else he can do down there. It's time for him to prove he belongs in the big leagues.
Every report I have read about this kid says that the long-term plan for him may be closer. And you can throw 103 and, triple digits, that might be the spot. Gabe, you don't see that being something that happens soon, right? You see him as a starter and then maybe transitioning to that later on?
They won't transition him later on unless they have to. Like, they thought about that last year, again, as a reliever, and that's why when he initially got called up to AAA, he was working out of the bullpen. But their long-term projection, they want him to be a starter. Because the starter's just that much more valuable. Having a guy like that, as we've seen. Like, it's really hard for a closer to go out and win a Cy Young. But you have a starter that you give the ball to every 5 days, then go out there and shove like Corbin Burns used to. That's a lot more valuable.
Intimidating when you see 6'7", you said?
Oh, yeah, just think about that arm. Just think about that.
I mean,
I'm coming at you.
Well, yeah, just your release point. When you throw that hard and then your release point, that ball gets on top of you a lot sooner.
Yeah, Randy Johnson was pretty good.
Yeah, again, because he was just all arms and legs because he threw hard and then that ball just gets on you because the release point's all the way
I even think about Chris Sale when I covered him on the White Sox year in and year out. He's a lanky guy. He kind of looks like one of those things that you see outside of the car dealerships, right? And the way that he threw the ball. The last thing I want to say before we move on here is, pack the park, guys. Right? I just checked on Ticketmaster. Plenty of good seats still available for this game Thursday. This is one of those things where if this guy becomes a benchmark, if he becomes the future of this organization, you're going to want to be able to say that you were there for his first major league start against the rival Cardinals. You're going to want to say, especially if he gets the win. My goodness, if he gets a quality start and they get the win, that's one of those events that you want to say, I was there for. So head over to Ticketmaster, head over to Brewers.com, grab some tickets, get to the game tomorrow night, take your kids. It's a Thursday night. A lot of people are out of school now. My kid's last day of school is today. So we're going to try to get down to the ballpark. I would love to be in AmFam Field when this happens.
Yeah.
Well, no disagreement over
No,
it.
You just want to push back on a guy who throws 103 making his major league debut?
I'm just saying I would like to see, I thought when I went to Ticketmaster, it would be there'd be fewer blue sections, if I will, available seats. So I'm telling people this morning, now's your chance. Go out and grab some tickets, take the kids out to the ballpark tomorrow so you can see this guy, so you can say, I was there. So when he becomes an all-star, when he's starting in the all-star game, for the National League a few years from now, you could be like, I was at his major league debut at AmFam Field when they got the win against the Cardinals. That'd be pretty cool. Go ahead, Gabe.
Let me tell you about our good friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Of course, we have trusted them for a long time here at ESPN Milwaukee. I have trusted them with my new house. I've got a brand new door. So if it's time to upgrade your windows and or doors, again, for me, it was a door, but you don't want to spend a fortune, Pella, who is, of course, the best in the industry, they have a product line for every budget. So many different options, so many different customizable options, but they have a product line for every budget. And right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? Get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 6/30/2025. Set your free in-home consultation today. PellaWI.com. When you go to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, make sure you tell them Gabe Neitzel sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 43, we've got delays from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive to about North Avenue. Northbound's backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards Kiev. We've also got delays on 4394 coming around the Plainfield curve all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. And westbound 94, delays out of the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to Elm Grove Road. Eastbound slow from 84th Street through the stadium to 35th. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny, breezy, warm, and humid, a high of 87. Tonight, chance for showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Elevate your game at the Island Resort and Casino. Book a customized stay and play package today to golf Sweetgrass and Sage Run. There's nothing like playing around at the island, unless you're watching the pros do it. Join us June 20th through the 22nd for the Island Resort Championship at Sweetgrass, where the rising stars of the LPGA tee it up on the Epson Tour. It's a weekend of thrilling competition and unforgettable women's golf. Plan your golf getaway today at islandresortgolf.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You know what? I'm just going to say it. What the hell? You guys that live by the lake are soft.
You okay in here?
Why is it so hot in here? How can they sleep like this?
It's only for 3 days. Today's over, then we have tomorrow. We leave on Sunday. It's one day, really.
I mean, you can't handle 77 degrees in the sun? Are you kidding me?
How can they not put the air conditioning on?
They're nuts with temperature.
This bar is right like that.
Who are you talking to right now?
3 of you.
The 3 of us?
I'm pretty sure the 3 of you all live down by the lake.
I haven't said a damn word.
Did you hear me complaining about how nice it was yesterday?
Mrs. Seinfeld, please, I am begging you, put the air conditioner on.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
She wants to ride and she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
I can't decide if this development yesterday at Green Bay Packers minicamp has more to do with the player or more to do with the position. So yesterday, Bo Melton, wide receiver Bo Melton, was taking snaps at cornerback. Chewy, your initial reaction to that news was not good.
No, I've seen it happen before. It's basically, you're not making this team as a receiver. Let's try you at defensive back.
Something else.
which might get them a year. I mean, they might try the experiment because they normally ask the player. And players, most of them aren't dumb. They know when they do something like that. I mean, it's rarely a good thing. How many times have you seen a player move from his primary position to one he's really never played before? It doesn't normally work out, but they might give him a year.
And never played before.
Yeah.
Right? This isn't like, I mean, I don't know. I didn't go far. I didn't back to middle school, right?
Yeah.
The best case you can make is his brother, Max Melton, as a cornerback.
Oh, so maybe it's rubbed off on him.
Yeah.
You know?
Osmosis, something like that.
But my guess is they'll give him a year on the practice squad or something like that, or bounce him around a little bit to see if that experiment would work. But
I guess I just look at this as they love him on special teams. They just drafted 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
They kept 6 on the opening day roster last year. Okay, so is he going to make it this time around? Doesn't seem like it. But they like him on special teams, so maybe we can throw something against the wall and it sticks and we can keep you on the roster because you can't just keep him as a special team.
Well, and Matt LaFleur noted that he tackles well on special teams, so they decided to look and see what he could do on defense.
That translates, yeah.
And I was also thinking, like, well, that's good. Chewy yesterday said he doesn't really care if the quarterbacks can tackle.
Not so much.
So this to you feels like a step before the cut, a step before the, sorry, it's not going to work out? Or is that going too far?
The only one I remember, and I think I told it last week, was Kyle Wackholz, who was a quarterback out of USC. Clearly wasn't going to make the roster, and Holmgren, I think he asked him, hey, you want to try tight end? And he said, sure. And then Holmgren gave him, because Holmgren was a USC guy. Mm-hmm. He's quarterback at USC, so he gave him a year of cash on the practice squad, and that was eventually it. But who's the 6? So it'll be Reed, Golden, Dobbs, Williams, Wicks, Hardman,
Heath.
And then you got Watson.
Yeah, so Watson's not going to be...
Watson will be on PUP.
Yeah, Watson will be on whatever list he needs to be on at the beginning of the year. He won't be on the initial 53.
The numbers don't work, therefore.
Yeah, so the 6 last year were Dobbs, Watson, Reed, Wicks, Heath, and Melton. So you subtract Watson from there, and you go, okay, if you're going to keep 6... well, one of those guys still has to be an odd man out. And then, by the way, one of them is probably going to be out later in the season when Watson comes back, too.
What would you do? Would you ask to be released? Or would you attempt to make the transition to quarterback?
He's going to attempt to make this roster.
Yeah. I think your best chance at continuing your NFL career is with the team you're currently on. When you're a borderline roster special teamer like Bo Melton is.
This one just popped into my head, and you guys, Montgomery. Remember Ty Montgomery was a receiver and they moved him to running back?
Yeah, but at least that was the same side of the ball.
No, I know. But typically they ask you, they just don't move you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't a lot of it also like, we like your work ethic, we like the way you are on the locker room?
Which is what everyone says about Bo Melton.
You're a good person to have around. You set a good example for your teammates. Maybe you're good at this. He's athletic enough.
Yeah.
It's just, can he make that transition in the time for him to justify?
Can he make the transition in 3 months?
Right.
It's basically the question.
But I will tell you this, outside of quarterback, cornerback is the second toughest position to play on the field.
Well, right, but we also discussed yesterday how it's also not the most glaring.
Was the most second hardest.
Right, but we knew that
was obvious.
What is that?
Baloney.
Is that just...
That's too big.
Or in your case, not to be, as so often happens. We talked yesterday about the cornerback depth, and I think that this plays into it a little bit. I don't want to look at Bo Melton taking snaps at cornerback as a complete indictment of where the cornerback position is, but I also don't think you can ignore it. If the Packers were wholly satisfied with who they have in those spots, I don't know that they're throwing Bo Melton out there even to take a few snaps. I think it's like, no, we want Nate Hobbs taking as many snaps as possible. No, we want Keyshawn Nixon taking as many snaps as possible. And I know that in minicamp, there's a lot of snaps to go around. But I do want to get some sound from yesterday, and I want to hear Jordan Love talking about the 3 guys that they have at cornerback. You guys haven't heard this yet, so I want you to react in real time to the way that Jordan Love assesses the guys they have at cornerback with the departure of Jaire Alexander.
Yeah, I think the great thing about it is all those guys have a lot of playing time. They've played in this league. They have experience. Keyshawn being versatile, playing nickel, to go out and play corner last year, making that move a little bit. So he's a guy that we know we're going to get out of Keyshawn. He's reliable, and I think the more reps he gets at corner, the better he's going to be. And then Carrington, he's really came on the scene for himself, making a name for himself. So, the sky's the limit for him as well. He's going to keep doing great things. And then bringing a guy like Nate Hobbs in, who's got experience as well. And we'll see what he ends up doing, whether it's nickel or corner. But he looks good so far. He's a very physical corner, nickel, whatever they put him at. But I think the more we get around him, the more we keep seeing him. The first start I've seen, he looks pretty good. So we got a good DB room. It'll be interesting to see the more we get into training camp exactly how that kind of position group pans out, who will be where. But I got confidence in all those guys. They all got playing time as well.
I mean, he's got to say something nice. He's not going to say anything negative. But they do have 3 guys that can play. I don't think they're Pro Bowl players.
Work in progress is what I
Work in
heard.
progress. The problem is depth. I mean, if you have an injury, we saw what happened to the offensive line last year. All of a sudden, you get 2 guys that go down in a playoff game, and those guys were terrible. Game's over. You lose 2 of these guys, and it's matched with this defensive line, and it's like, oh.
Again, I don't know how many teams actually do have depth at this position, though.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's a yeah.
But we don't even know if we have depth.
If any team out there that has Super Bowl aspirations or playoff aspirations suffers injuries to 2 of their top 3 corners, as good as the wide receivers are in this league from top to bottom, yeah, that team's probably cooked.
That's how you get Ladarius Gunter covering Julio Jones in the NFC Championship.
But what did Stokes cost?
Nothing.
I mean, Stokes could play. He wasn't great.
Hold on. Are you fixing your mouth to advocate?
No, I'm saying Stokes.
For Eric Stokes.
As the 4th corner, yes.
You think he's
If they
better than any random guy off the street?
Not at pass deflecting, but he was.
Wait, is that?
That's so interesting that you remember that detail about Eric Stokes.
It's an important part of playing the
It
position.
is.
Maybe
breaking up passes,
Yes.
right?
I'm not saying as a starter. I'm just saying in the bullpen.
He didn't have one accidentally hit his helmet.
I think any conversation about depth is totally misguided. I think it's do you have the top end guy and you don't.
Well,
and that's what happened with Jaire.
I want to be clear on this, guys. Again, I thought it was so interesting. First of all, Jordan Love is not an effusive guy. You listen to any one of his press conferences, it's a short answer, and he repeats the short answer, and then he repeats the short answer again, okay? That's just how he handles these press conferences. It's how he handles the inquiries about the team. But he was sort of effusive about this, right? Maybe it's because there were 3 guys, and he wanted to give all of them equal time. But would it have been so much to ask that the quarterback of the team says for any of the cornerbacks that he is referencing, he's great. We feel like we go out there with him and he gives us a chance to win. The best thing that Jordan said about these corners, guys, was we know what we're going to get. The more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. They all have playing time and experience. And that's where I was like, okay, well, yeah, I guess that's good. We're glad that they have experience, but I would have liked for one of them to be like, man, he's a dog. Man, do we feel good running blank? I don't even care which one it is. I don't even care which one of the cornerbacks it is, Joshy. Tell me one of them.
Well, aren't we the anti-gush? Romeo
Yes.
Dobbs and it's triple cover him.
Yes.
So we have to find the fine line of I think he's telling it as it is.
Exactly. And I want him to tell it as it is, but this is more of this is where this position is right now. That's what I'm getting at. It's not I want Jordan Love to lie to me. It's if this is what Jordan Love is saying about these guys, I think we should listen and say it's a work in progress. Gabe, I think this position is a work in progress. And what I'm hearing from Jordan Love when he talks about the corners is we need him to grow. We need him to progress.
Well, I mean, especially, I would say Carrington because he's the youngest of the group. But, I mean, Keyshawn has risen to the occasion every time the Packers have asked him to. I feel pretty good about Keyshawn Nixon being out there. I feel like I trust Keyshawn Nixon at this point. Yeah, is he going to be a Pro Bowler? Probably not. But he's going to be assignment sound. He's going to be solid. He's not going to get lost out there. And a lot of times when you're playing as much zone as the Packers did last year, and I'm assuming they're going to play as much this year, that's what you need. You need guys that you know are going to be in the right spots and don't have those blown coverage.
I just look at the gauntlet of receivers, though, especially when you start facing good teams.
Getting Amon-Ra last year, 5 catches, 43 yards against the Packers without Jaire. Justin Jefferson, 5 for 90.
You think that happens again
touchdowns.
with both of them?
I mean, those are good. I don't think that they're just going to go out there and have 200 yards receiving. No, I don't. This team was this. If we felt good enough about this team going into the playoffs last year, you shouldn't feel any different because they're actually better at this position going into the playoffs last year. Right now, they're better right now than they were going into the playoffs because they subtracted Eric Stokes and they added Nate Hobbs, who's objectively better. Healthy. They're objectively right now. They are healthy. Yeah. So right now they are better than they were going into the postseason last year.
Like I said, they'll be fine against average teams. But they have to have their biggest win last year. Biggest win. You remember what their biggest win was? And they were without Nico Collins.
Yeah, it was against Houston.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, no, look.
You got to beat good teams.
Yeah, well,
and you know what good teams have? You know what good teams have?
I mean, you're going to have to beat good teams to be a
They got
playoff
two
team
good
this year,
receivers.
too. Like, in order to be because the schedule's just that stacked.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
they were 10-1 against non-divisional opponents last year.
Sure.
10-1.
Yeah.
That ain't happening again.
No.
So you're going to have to be better against the division, and all three teams in the division have good receivers.
Yes.
But I have confidence in Jeff Affley that he's going to be able to get the job done. But, I mean, is this group going to do what Jaire did a couple years ago against Jefferson, hold him to one catch for 15 yards? No. But they can be good enough. There just still has to be growth in other positions.
Just depth scares me. Just scares me.
And I wonder how many positions, guys, the Packers can be, quote, unquote, good enough at in order to reach the heights that we hope that this team and franchise will reach. Right? If we start going along position by position, how many can they be good enough at? Or maybe to make it more palatable, how many can you afford to be, quote, unquote, good enough at and still be a championship caliber team? Is it 3? Can you be good enough? And I think we all understand what that entails.
Yeah.
At a position and still be a championship team. 3 positions?
Yeah,
Cornerback, defensive line. And again, I'm going to say, probably's got to be on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Good enough. Maybe you extend it to special teams.
There's still growth that certainly needs to happen in order for them to be. Because, look, you're not going to have superstars at every level. You just can't. You just can't do it.
I'd take 5 superstars, actually.
Yeah, but you're just not going to have superstars at every level and every position group. It's just not. So you are going to have some groups that fall to more of that, league average spot. But in order for that cornerback position to be league average and you still be able to, you need growth out of the wide receivers, out of Jordan Love, out of the defensive line, out of the 2 young safeties that you had so much promise for last year in Bullard. There's still a lot of growth that has to happen around them. And I would just say I think there's better opportunities in other positions to have those stars grow there versus the cornerback.
But when we always talk about the tandem of the defensive line and the cornerbacks and how much one unit affects the other, right now it feels like we are hoping that they are good on the defensive line, good enough at the cornerbacks. So are we sort of expecting that middle unit, the linebackers, to just ball out? And they could. Joshy's back there nodding because they do have
That's the strength, probably.
They do have some talent there that we think will continue to grow.
Mm-hmm. That's probably the strength of this team. And I would say the safeties, but safeties, they can't do what they want to do with them because of the deficiency in the defensive line. You got to be careful, I mean, if they're only having 3 seconds to throw the ball, then you can bring the safety up and do things. But if they got 5, I mean, you're leaving guys on an island.
Yeah, I mean, but that's true of anybody. Outside of like Dion, right?
Sure.
You throw any cornerback out there for 6 seconds and best of luck to you.
Yeah.
On a down-to-down basis. They were 13th. They were 13th against the pass last year.
I would trade Xavier McKinney for a stud D lineman. I just would.
I don't think Jeff Hafley would.
Different philosophy. Ron always said D-line and corners.
And yet he had a Hall of Fame safety.
He did. Because he had a hell of a defensive line. Didn't have to blitz a lot. So we'll see. Hey, we'll know early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be tested. Yeah, without a doubt. Those first 2 games. You're going to be tested by 2 offenses that were in the NFC Championship game a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, the downfall will be the D-line and the receivers. That'll be the downfall.
So let me get to this comment from our friend Ron in the Key. Make the math make sense to me. You guys agree with me that the D-line is bad, that the corners aren't good, and the receivers aren't good. How do we get to 13
We're
wins?
not saying
I did want to put the caveat on. I feel like Ron sort of went, he skewed more negative.
The corners are good. They're just not great.
Hold on. Did Ron hear something other than what we actually said?
It appears to be that way, yes.
Oh.
It appears that he heard us agreeing with whatever point he wanted to make.
That's new for him.
You guys are so mean to Ron. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out the obvious.
We know he can take it.
Which is a little mean, a little jabby jab.
Is it? If it's the truth, how mean is it though?
I want to get to our Nonsense of the day right after this. We got some Nonsense. We'll dig into it. And then we have Justin McCoy from Cousin Subs, who's going to join us in studio as he does so often. Great to see Justin. We'll talk to him as the show rolls on. Gabe?
You don't need a private party or fancy credentials to play golf inside of American Family Field because X Golf is open to the public every Brewers home game. Big debut tomorrow night. Maybe you go up to X Golf. That's right. Whether you're a walk-up or planned ahead, you can tee off in a high-tech golf simulator with a perfect view of the field. And the simulators, well, they're fantastic. It's where I go to play my golf over the winter. It's great to check out because each seat has table service. The vibes, immaculate food, drinks, big swings, all without missing a pitch. So book your next game day round at X Golf inside American Family Field. Open to the public 7 days a week.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound 43, watch for delays from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound, have you from Good Hope Road down past Center Street, and then you're going to see a pretty good ride through the Marquette, though. Westbound 94, a little heavy from 35th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from the Zoo to about Elm Grove Road. Eastbound 94, we've got some delays from 84th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny, breezy, warm, and humid, a high of 87. Tonight, chance of showers or storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 60. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Don't miss 3 weekends of live music at Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, including Benson Boone, Hosier, Megan Thee Stallion, plus Alex Warren, Artemis, Nissa Barrett, and more. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an Eastside event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
Rivals meet again when the Brewers battle the Cardinals June 12th through the 15th. Come for a duel between the Contreras brothers on the diamond and stay for one of the best weekends of summer. It's Tropical Day, Saturday, June 14th, featuring a Brewers straw hat with special tickets. Then take Dad to the Father's Day game for a Barrelman Cooler giveaway on June 15th. It doesn't get any better than this. Get in on the action at Brewers.com.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Weekend appointments available. Call now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And guess who didn't hit the hole? Zeke Elliott.
Ashton.
Well, I mean, yes. You all right back there?
It's so true.
It was a direct shot. She took out the sniper rifle and just...
She got right up to me, took out a Glock, and just shot.
Yeah, right in the balls.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Milwaukee just got hotter, announcing the buys of summer. At Ewald Automotive Group, get the lowest prices guaranteed on new vehicles. Ewald will beat your best price by $500, or they'll pay you $500 cash, guaranteed. With over 1,500 vehicles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect ride for you and your family. 11 brands, 10 locations, one easy experience. It's always been easy for me dealing with our friends over at Ewald, so don't miss out on the Ewald Buys of Summer sales event going on right now. See dealer details, expires month end. It all starts at ewaldauto.com.
So I've never felt more like Hansel and Gretel. Chew, you remember Hansel and Gretel?
Yes.
A little children's story, right? The little kids, they're following the breadcrumbs, if you will. Now, there was a part of the story where they get thrown in the oven by the evil witch.
You should have made him try and parse it out.
Have him tell the story.
Yeah.
Were there cookies involved or something?
I think a gingerbread house.
Gingerbread, there we go. That's close.
Right? Or a house.
75%.
The kids started eating her house, is what I remember. Yeah, it's been a while. But either way, the breadcrumbs was a big part of it. They were following breadcrumbs or candy crumbs or some sort of crumbs through the woods to try to get to their destination. And that's how I feel following this Giannis Antetokounmpo story. Obviously, we're in Milwaukee. Obviously, it is going to be something that people are very interested in, very intrigued by, want to know the details, want to know the updates. And here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and on ESPN Milwaukee, we are calling this hunt, this search, well, Giannis. Take a listen.
Enough with this Giannis.
It would be front office malpractice. Whether or not Giannis blesses this or not, to not go out and aggressively pursue a trade.
Mobley for Giannis, straight up. What do you think? Call it in right now.
Done.
You're done if you're Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think it's a great trade.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
It's the season of Giannis.
It really is. So yesterday, I sent you guys this tweet that said, breaking news, Giannis Antetokounmpo has confirmed his plans to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks. In a recent interview with EuroHoopsNet, Giannis expressed how he hopes to get back to the NBA Finals with Milwaukee. And I was like, oh my goodness. I sent it over to you guys, and you guys were like, pump the brakes. We're not sure how much validity there is to this. We're translating stuff from Portuguese to English, trying to understand, Gabe.
So the fun part is the tweet you sent us was aggregated from EuroHoopsNet, who didn't even do the interview. So that aggregation was an aggregation from somebody else who aggregated it after a translation from Greek to Portuguese back to English.
Yeah.
And so I tried to go through the list of tweets that the Brazil interview was done on. It's not a website. It was just a list of tweets. It was just a chain of tweets. And I did not find that quote anywhere. So I have no idea what EuroHoopsNet was trying to do, but I do find it telling that EuroHoopsNet was the only one that was running with it instead of Shams, Eric Name, somebody of that ilk, Brian Windhorst's, guys that are, pretty connected in the NBA space.
So then I guess Brian Windhorst also spoke recently, and Brian Windhorst was saying, look, the Bucks have no plans to trade Giannis. Giannis hasn't asked for a trade. And that has sort of snowballed into the conversation that I was watching occur on Get Up this morning when they started the show saying, is Giannis right to stay with the Bucks? Operating from a position of, they feel like this, and I don't want to say foregone conclusion, but it seems like they are saying, is this the right decision for Giannis to stay with the Bucks? So there at least is a perception that Giannis is staying with the Bucks that they are discussing this morning.
Yeah, CBS Sports, Sam Quinn, earlier this week had a report saying that teams around the league are operating as if Giannis is going to be staying in Milwaukee. That is how they are currently operating right now. Again, not that anybody knows anything, but...
So if this was to happen, when would it have to happen by? When does it heat up?
I would think it would heat up before the draft.
Which is?
End of the month.
Okay.
Because presumably, but it doesn't have to. Like, Dame Lillard got traded at the beginning of training camp in October to the Bucks.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think there's necessarily a firm deadline. It's whenever Giannis and the Bucks actually get together and talk.
It doesn't sound
And if you
like
haven't
there's no
had
rush.
Yeah, if you haven't had this meeting, my guess is the Bucks feel pretty confident that he's going to be sticking around.
Okay, so then Giannis and his entire family are in Brazil right now. I was watching an Instagram live with Giannis and Thanasis and a couple of guys. They're at a soccer game, and they were going down to the locker room, and Giannis was all giddy about it, as we have known Giannis to be at things like that. And then they posted a picture of Giannis in front of Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio, where he is holding his Bucks jersey. So then people were like, oh, well, you don't stand in front of the statue with a Bucks jersey unless you're telling people, I'm a Buck. Should we read into that, or is that just another circumstantial thing that you don't want to give too much weight to?
Yeah, I guess I don't give too much weight to it.
He's not going anywhere.
That's how I feel, Chew.
He's not going anywhere.
Again, maybe this is like a hopeful thing. Maybe this is a Rorschach test, right? You see what you want to see. But it sort of feels like they are dropping big old breadcrumbs that indicate Giannis's future is in Milwaukee, that he wants to stay in Milwaukee. He wants to be a member of the Milwaukee Bucks long-term going forward. And you're telling me, protect your heart.
No, I think that's, again, I've been banging that drum most of the offseason. 60-40 that he's staying. And the longer this goes, I probably become more.
Has it shifted at all with these recent things?
As we go deeper into the postseason, deeper into the offseason for most of these teams, yeah. And if there are a lot of teams out there that want to poke around and are like, oh, okay, it doesn't look like Giannis is going to be available. Now, some of these teams are going to make sure that he's not available before they dive into the Kevin Durant sweepstakes or anything like that.
You don't think there'll be a team out there? You don't think there's a San Francisco in the lurch with Rodgers?
I'm glad that he explained that, because I was like, the Warriors?
You know what I mean? Someone not even waiting for the conversation and just throwing a trade offer out there.
Well, yeah, but the Bucks aren't listening.
They're going to read the paper.
It has to come from Giannis, right?
Says who? If I'm
Says the Bucks.
So that has to be a conversation taking place.
You don't think, what's his name in San Francisco? Kyle Shanahan, going behind LaFleur's back. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah. But
I'm trying to do is tick people off, because when I transitioned from the Brewers to the Packers, someone got mad. So I'm trying to tick off some
I understand what you're doing.
Because the football rules the world. Please, come on.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, understand what I'm saying, though.
But, like, whatever team you want to, throw out there, they call up they call up Horst.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to trade for Giannis. Cool, dude. Click. Like,
I'm just sending
John Horst is hanging up on people right now if they call. The Bucks are only trading Giannis if Giannis comes to them and says, I want to be traded.
I disagree.
That's the only way it's happening.
If I said, Gabe, how about $78,000 for your car? And you said you weren't selling it, you're like, oh boy.
But who has that package?
Well, also,
who has the,
as much as I love my car,
metaphorical,
and I do enjoy. I love. It's not the Giannis of cars.
That's a fair point.
I do want to clarify something, because there seems to be some questions about it on the Carbless Talk and text line and on the YouTube stream. Giannis wasn't wearing a Bucks jersey in the photographs. Gang.
He was holding it up.
He was holding up a Bucks jersey.
I think
it doesn't really matter. I mean, the fact that he was holding the Bucks jersey.
Here's why I will say it.
But also, it would be weird if he was wearing his Bucks jersey in front of, like.
So I have a few people who have said he has to wear his Bucks jersey. He is still under contract. And my point is, why not take the picture wearing what you're wearing?
You can wear whatever you want.
Listen, I'm saying, if the Bucks jersey to me is only significant because he's holding it up. Take a picture wearing what you're wearing, pal.
It wasn't a team photo in front of him.
I think it's more significant that he's holding it instead of wearing it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm with Jen. Yes.
I don't think you know what you're saying.
This time I do. This time I get it.
Let's not start peeling away the layers.
We got
Josh is awful bossy today. Can everyone hear that, or is that just
That's
us?
just us.
Okay.
But that's because we have guests. We had to get out on time for
Get some
Shefty.
balls
Trying to
and
get
then
out
say
on
it to
time for our
everyone
guy
so they
here.
can hear it.
Go to break for the love of all
there you
that's
go.
pure.
We're listening now.
You want me to leave again, don't you? Do you want me to go back to Florida?
Someone do the live read before I come in there and strangle you all.
It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facilities specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. So what does that mean for you? It means if you're tired, groggy, you just don't have that energy to get through your day, those could all be signs of low testosterone. And that's where Mentality can help out. Mentality can help you out with that low testosterone with a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. They've helped me. They've been fantastic. So go to their website, lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments, lowtusa.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, backing up out of the Marquette all the way up towards Keefe. Southbound, still heavy from Good Hope Road all the way down to about Sutter Street. Westbound 94, a little tight right through the stadium interchange. Not too bad. We've got more delays then from the Zoo to about Elm Grove Road. Eastbound is slowing down a bit from 84th Street through the stadium interchange to 35th. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny, breezy, warm and humid, a high of 87. Tonight, chance for showers and storms, mostly cloudy with a low of 60. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems?
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Summer's here, and seasonal businesses are hiring everything from hiking guides to surf instructors and more. Whether you're hiring for one of these roles or any other role, you need ZipRecruiter to find qualified candidates fast. ZipRecruiter's smart technology gets to work as soon as you post a job, diving in to find great matches and showing you top picks right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/USL to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
Here at Total Wine & More, our amazing selection means you'll always
love what you find.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Just getting a sneak peek at my Father's Day gifts.
Well, I was thinking of getting you this Barrel Select bourbon.
That's a really nice bottle.
And Total Wine has it at the totally lowest price.
Wow. You always were my favorite.
Thanks, Dad.
Talking to the bourbon, sweetie.
Find what you love what you find. Like the perfect gift for Dad at the perfect price. Only at Total Wine & More.
And drink responsibly. B21.
Summerfest is almost here, and we're going to send you to all 9 days. It's Summerfest on us. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to bring a friend and have the best summer ever at the big gig. Summerfest on us. Register today in the ESPN Wisconsin app under the contest tab. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I have told you how many times. Do not mess with electricity, Chew.
And I don't.
I did. I did. But
There was
I
an
don't.
incident?
There was one.
Plumbing, you're going to get wet. Electricity, you're going to die.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Oh man, Justin McCoy from Cousin Subs knows the weight at this gal's heart. Gabe, what did he bring me?
I mean, more than, a hat. Also knows the way to Chewy's heart.
I know. He has not stopped stuffing his face.
He can't speak.
I got 3.
He's got a few hats. He's got a new sub in front of him. Justin, what's Chewy eating over there?
He is eating our exclusive Summerfest sub called the Italian Stallion. So this year we're honoring our founder, Bill Specht, who passed last year. And one of his favorite subs was the Italian Special. So we were like, how can we jazz up the Italian Special? So it's got all the ingredients that the typical Italian Special has, but we added pepperoni and ham, mayo, and the hot pepper relish.
The
which
hot
she
pepper
was enjoying.
relish, it does it.
That
puts it over the top.
The heat of the
Holy
pepper
cats.
relish with the coolness of the mayo, it's just a great combo. So super excited to introduce that at Summerfest this year.
It's not the only thing that y'all are introducing at Summerfest, because I've got some shakes sitting here to my left. And explain to me what we got going on here, because I'm seeing a little, is that Fruity Pebbles? We got a little Fruity Pebble action happening here?
Yeah, we can't quite call it Fruity Pebbles. So, so we're going to call them fruit-flavored crisp. Interpret that how you will. So it's a vanilla.
Can we call them Pooty Pebbles? Would that
Yes, there you go. That works.
I don't know if that's the way you want to call it.
But this is a really fun, colorful shake for, if you could see it. It's a vanilla gelato with an orange syrup in it, so it's got almost that sort of orange dream flavor.
It looks like Tampa Bay's creamsicles.
Yes, it
right?
does. And then it's got whipped cream. It's got the, what are we calling them?
Pooty Pebbles.
Pooty Pebbles. And then the kicker is we have an edible vanilla straw.
Oh.
It's called the Big Bang Shake.
It looks amazing. And you brought some little cups here so we all can try the
What's
Big
the
Bang
straw
shake.
made out of? Noodle?
I don't know. It's vanilla something. You can eat it.
What do you
It's
mean
edible.
a noodle?
Well, what else are you going to make a straw?
What, you think you got mastacholi sticking in
A hollow
the
spaghetti
shake over
noodle.
there? Good
It's
grief.
like candy, like one of those, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a chocolate
Pixie
guy, so I
sticks.
don't eat, something like that.
Cousin Subs back at Summerfest 2025, which, by the way, is next week already, which is awesome. Cousins Subs stand is in the Miller Lite Oasis, right across from the stage, where you can get these specials and, of course, a long list of the favorites fan favorites that you can get at Cousin Subs. All right, a lot of other stuff going on. You guys are doing the party sub meal again. Tell us about that.
Yes, we have the 2-foot party sub right now for a limited time. That's just $39.99. But you can also add a party chip and a dozen cookies for $4.99 more. So we're going to be doing that through the end of this month. So if you're a party sub fan, please get out and order your party sub.
Well, we got summer parties, we got graduations, we got office lunches, you got any sort of get together when people are, wanting to hang out outside, inside, whatever it is. $45 is an absolute steal for the party sub meal.
And you guys, one of my favorite things about Cousins is you guys celebrate your Wisconsin roots. And you're doing that once again with a Wisconsin tradition. Pull tabs, they're back at Cousin Subs.
Have you ever pulled a pull
I
tab
got them the
in
other
Lake
day.
Country
I went
too?
and got my tuna sub. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a baby of mine. I'm a big pull tab guy. I grew up in northern Wisconsin and going out to supper clubs with the family, and that was always a thing as a kid. Dad would throw some money in. We'd pull some
supper
pull
clubs.
tabs.
Wink.
Yep.
We go to the same establishment. Some of them don't have food.
I was talking about my childhood.
Jeez, very clearly.
But yeah, so the pull tab giveaway is going on right now through July 6th. The grand prize, if you get it, is Cousin Subs for a year, but we have a ton of other prizes on there. And it's just you purchase a sub, you get a pull tab, and you pull and see if you win.
How many subs do you normally sell at Summerfest? The whole?
Oh, gosh.
Thousands?
I
gotta be in.
Yes, I would say thousands. I know more what we do in dollars, which I'm not going to say right now. But
Gabe's got a car for sale.
But the translation is
now
we
I'm
sell a lot of
selling.
subs.
Now I'm selling my car for Cousin Subs, or what are we doing here?
For Giannis. Sorry. I'm just so excited to be back here. I haven't seen it in a
God,
while.
you put a little bit of food in Chewy, and it's like feeding a gremlin after midnight. I don't know what's going on over there.
He did get a little hyped up once that Italian stallion got in him.
That's good.
Unbelievable. Well, you mentioned free subs for a year as a prize for your pull tabs as well. You guys do the free subs for your sweepstakes here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. And you can sign up for it at cousinsubs.com/free subs. Today we are announcing another lucky winner. So drum roll, everybody. Let's go.
And the extended drum roll. Jamie Lizowski from Oak Creek. I was going to say
triple. It's the hat trick.
Polish from the south side.
Yeah.
Go figure.
What is wrong with you?
He hasn't even tried. He hasn't even had the sugar in the shake yet.
Oh,
It's just
my
the
goodness.
stuff.
I can't imagine. Make sure you do that after the show. I want to be responsible.
I might go
Whatever
on Wildy and
happens.
Tausch.
He's like,
This thing going.
he's like Buddy the Elf over there right now. My goodness.
Did you close the hideaway last night?
I haven't even been there yet.
Okay.
It's too damn cold.
Oh, he's so soft. Justin, he's so soft
yeah.
now after spending like the last couple winters down in Florida. Like he's complaining it's too cold up here. It's 8 degrees today.
I thought I heard a segment on the way down here where he was talking to you guys about being soft for living on the lake down here. Or did I misinterpret that?
Well, I mean, he's soft for a number of different reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just thinks it's like he thinks 75 degrees is too cold.
I'm more of 82.
Which today 75 is just fine.
It's going to be warm today.
Giannis coming back?
Yes.
Well, you feel very confident about that.
I do.
Are you doing the things that we have been doing, which is collecting the data, putting it on the big board, connecting it with the strings and the push pins? Like, is that how you have come to this conclusion, or is this just mostly wishful thinking?
Probably wishful thinking, but I do think he's going to stay. I don't know. I just think it's home to him. It's just, I don't know. I'm sold on that. I just really believe that.
I want to be very clear. I was very convinced when you said yes so definitively, but now I'm sort of like, Justin doesn't know. He doesn't know.
It's a gut feeling. I don't have I don't have a deep explanation for it. It's just I just feel that this is home to him. It's where he's raised his family. I think he's embraced the city, and maybe I'm holding on to that as a fan. But I feel he's a guy who wants his legacy to be that he's with one team and he's not hopping all around.
And were you sad to see Jaire go?
Yes, I like Jaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jaire was, I judge how much I like a player on whether I would want to buy their jersey, and I wanted to buy Jaire's jersey, and I got it. And I have very few jerseys, and it was just it was a tough run of injuries, and I understand it from both sides.
Is there a current player now you want a jersey of? Because now you got to replace the Jaire in the rotation.
McKinney and Jacobs are great.
Okay.
Both great signings, both great guys, great leaders.
What's Golden? 16?
22.
20. Ooh, Doug Flutie, huh? 22's odd.
It's a very odd
Do you know why he's 22?
Oh, no. Yeah, there was a story behind that, wasn't there?
22 guys got picked before him in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Oh, little Rodgers on him.
So, yeah, he was 2 in college, so he wanted 2 to be in there.
Oh, okay.
And then settled on 22, because 2 was an important number to him.
I got to see how that looks on him.
Not
I
great.
got to critique it.
Looks weird.
You mentioned a moment ago Giannis staying with one team for his entire career. That's something that Donald Driver did. You guys work with Donald Driver pretty closely. And Donald has this Drive to Win celebrity golf outing sweepstakes for the second year coming up. It says June 27th here. Fans can enter daily at cousinsubs.com/drive to win. What do we got going on here?
Yeah, so for this, you can enter to win daily, and then the grand prize winner will receive a VIP foursome in Donald's Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame golf outing on July 28th at the Brute Golf Course in Lake Geneva. It's an awesome event. Donald usually has some of his former teammates there. Jordy Nelson's been there a number of years, so it's just a great event, a great day to go out there and raise some money for charity and have some fun golfing. So go there and enter to win, and then you'll also get that meet and greet with Donald.
This is something that Gabe typically asks, so I'm stealing his thunder, but how's your golf game going this time of year?
Well, it's funny. I played with someone you know recently.
And how did it go?
The scramble went pretty well. Golf game is getting better. I just started picking up the game. I'm actually actually enjoying it quite a bit. And I don't know, I broke 100, so I'm happy.
That's
about
pretty
that.
good.
You have to start.
Just
Yeah,
start.
you start.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you just picked up the game, that's always a good. That's always a good barrier to break first.
As someone who has golfed with someone I know, can you give me like a real scouting report? Because I only hear and I'm trying to figure out if this person that I know is actually good at golf or
He played pretty well. It sounded like he played pretty horrible a day or two before that, so he was.
Well, that's
pleased
golf,
with that.
isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, yes, but. We finished 7 under. We should have probably been about 12 under in a scramble. So
Does he
fun day.
pull the old when it's time to go to the clubhouse and call Jen? Yeah, I got 4 holes left. It's going to be about an hour.
I would love to play along with that narrative, but I will say he's a pretty. I played with him a few times, and he's a saint on the course. He doesn't drink too many pops. He's pretty. He's pretty chill.
cares too much about his score.
Yeah,
I know how that works.
He's pretty chill.
I will tell you this true. He has gotten away from anything like that because on the Find My, I can see when he's at the clubhouse and when he's on a fairway. You know what I mean? The Find My is very good.
That's
about,
dangerous.
Oh, they're at the tee box. Oh, they're on the fairway.
He did say I'm being tracked right now, and I didn't know what he meant.
Well, there it is. No breadcrumbs here. Let's just put it all out there. Justin McCoy from Cousin Subs. Always great to have you in studio. Cannot wait to dig into this sub that is going to be featured at Summerfest. And can you start divvying up the shit? Maybe we should take some pictures first. They look so cute with the pooty pebbles on top. That's a tough one. Gabe won't embrace it every time I say it.
Well, because of the way it starts, I don't think you want that associated with food.
Pooty pebbles. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wrap up the show after this. Stick around.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi. Come aboard, and you might win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Boundless bounty this June at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon. And Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Evan Cohen here. When you're on a business trip, you know what goes completely off the rails? Your workout routine, especially when you book a hotel that doesn't have a gym. Then you have to squeeze in between the desk and your bed, eke out 2 push-ups, and call it a day. If you just stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you'll discover their fully equipped fitness center at every location. Now you can wake up and do some weightlifting to prepare you to carry your team on your back all day. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yes, that would have been much worse than what ended up happening.
Finally got the which would be worse and what would be better. Finally, we figured it out.
You can't just be showing your junk on national TV.
It would have got a lot of clicks.
On 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. For Mental Health Awareness Month, BetterHelp surveyed 16,000 people across 23 countries for its first ever State of Stigma report. And while they found that 75% of people believe it's wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy. When people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them. It affects their families, their workplaces, their entire communities. That's why BetterHelp exists. They want to help people through the tough parts of their life. With over 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. They've served more than 5 million people globally, and you could be next. Here's why. It is convenient. You join with the click of a button from your home. It fits into your busy life, and you can switch therapists at any time. We are all better with help. So visit betterhelp.com/timeout to get 10% off your first month today. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/timeout. Wow, my sandwich is fantastic.
I want the rest of it.
He only gave us halves?
Yeah. I want whatever the rest of my sandwich is.
Is anyone going to try this this Big Bang shake here? Yeah, twist your arm type of thing?
Of course.
Oh, I know, but I thought maybe that Justin would kind of...
I'm more interested in the straw.
Yeah, it looks like it's just like
Yeah, take a bite out of that sucker.
Well, but then you can't take a bite out of it. You want this one?
No, I'm good.
No, it's just candy.
Oh, is it really? Wow.
Is a candy straw? Well, my kids would love that. Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that I can't give this whole thing to my kids because then they'll pull the car home. You know, hypo from Saturday Night Live over here. I can give them maybe a little Dixie cup, maybe a little, like these. These are the things like you get the fluoride from the dentist, you know, the size of this cup.
That balances out the heat from the sandwich very nicely.
Really?
Oh, yeah, that's real good.
And how's the candy on top?
I mean, it's just more decorative. You're not really, you're not really getting it in the flavoring of the orange creamsicle that they've got with the,
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, it's very good, though.
Can Justin come by more often?
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have him come by, whatever it is, once every 3 months, but I could go for a Justin visit once a week.
I think he's afraid because I abuse him a little bit.
You do?
No, that's fair.
Why? What has he ever done to you?
I have a good time every time I see Justin on the lake.
Right.
Is he having as good of a time?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Wait.
It's normally on a Sunday fun day.
So if he's having a good time, when he sees you, does his good time increase or decrease?
Well, if I don't catch eyes with him, he usually skedaddles and goes the other way. But if I catch him, then it's too late because I've already bought him a drink.
At least you're buying a drink, right? I think that's a good.
What do you
that's
mean?
a
At
good
least
faith.
that's the price of admission for Chew. He buys him a drink. Now he can do all the things that we're talking about here on the show.
Yeah, but at least you're getting a free drink.
What was it, like a year ago that you called him out for being at a establishment?
Yeah, I guess I had a little vomit mouth there, I guess. But I get excited when I see him.
I guess that happened.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to come with me to the ballpark tomorrow night?
Nope. That was almost as quick as Giannis coming back. But I will watch it on TV.
Sure.
Gabe, you want to go to the ballpark on Thursday night?
I gotta see when we're doing GKW.
Okay.
I don't know if we're recording early
Feels like
or
you could
late.
maybe move it in order to get out to the ballpark to see his major league debut.
I mean, it's not just me on the show. I've got to check with my co-host.
Ask them if they want to come.
One of them's in Chicago. One of them's in
drive
Florida.
up.
Gabe will be glued to the set, I'm sure, with the U.S. Open going on.
Yeah, we got that going on tomorrow too. Yeah.
Yeah. No
But
chance.
by that time, Mizrowski's, that debut will take precedent.
Yeah.
Starts at 7. U.S. Open to be over by that.
Ooh, it might be a 6 o'clock start. I have to check on that. Thursday night might be 6 o'clock. I'm not sure.
Who are they playing?
Is this my
Atlanta?
75% thing?
You're burping into the microphone.
Oh, well, that's because of the sandwich. So blame Cousin Subs for that. Burp.
Joshy, did you get goods or no?
I did, yes.
6:40 first pitch tomorrow.
I got my swag here, and my sub's just right next to you.
What about Mr. Clean there behind you? Did he
No,
get anything?
he
or
got
no?
kicked out of the club,
Okay.
which I'm sure makes you happy.
That's Ashton, everybody. At some point, can we have Ashton on the show to talk about his big promotion and how he's leaving us?
Yeah, what a turncoat.
Ashton, you have a microphone there, actually. Let me just turn it on.
Oh, this is what we're doing? No. We need more than a minute.
Yeah. See ya.
Deuces.
I think Ashton is excited about his.
He's
leaving.
That's what
I would like Josh to do. Josh, do it for me. Actually.
Wait. So you have to translate now for Ashton? Like I have to translate for Chewy?
As his counsel, I don't think he's losing any sleep over not dealing with you three anymore.
Why? Just because we got Adam Schefter to say GD this morning?
Yeah, I know.
In fairness, that was a highlight of my day so far. So I don't know. Take it for what you want.
What? We had so many good moments on the show, Ashton. Come on.
Another great one was 3 minutes ago when Gabe took a bite of the straw, but off camera because he just doesn't know where the camera is.
That's classic Gabe.
No, the only reason he's not losing sleep anymore is because he doesn't have to wake up at the ungodly hour to produce the show.
That's true. I do still have to wake up early because I'm going to be driving to Madison. So
We're going to get into this later with Ashton, but for now, Josh, you got some business to attend to.
For your next big event, Noble Catering has to be your first call. Southeastern Wisconsin's premier craft caterer, preferred by over 30 venues in the area. And coming into the spring of 2026, Noble's new headquarters, Brixton's Turn, a 400-person event venue located in the heart of Bayview's Harbor District. And last, but certainly not least, check out the stunning Riverfront Bar inside the Associated Bank River Center Vault, a perfect summer spot before a night out in the town or a ball game, featuring happy hour specials, a menu, tremendous flatbreads, and even a raw bar. And, of course, an incredible view of the Milwaukee River.
Wilde and Tausch is next on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great one, everybody.
Finishing things off with an accident on northbound 94 to